We are less than 2 weeks away from the start of the regular season, and we are currently enjoying some good preseason basketball. The preseason has been interesting for sure, but the good stuff starts on the 22nd when the Raptors play the Pelicans and the Lakers play the Clippers. We all know that's when the fun starts. This season is going to be very exciting, and with the new season comes plenty of predictions. So in the next 3 videos, I'm going to have 3 main predictions for the upcoming season. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys my 1 through 8 seed predictions for the Eastern Conference this year. Now, the East is not as interesting as the West. It's been that way for years now. But with all of the crazy moves this summer, this league is looking different. And I still think that the East has some interesting stories going into the season. Next week, I will do my predictions for the West, and the week after, I'll do my predictions for the season awards. So without further ado, let's not waste any more time. My name is Nas, and let's jump right into the predictions for the Eastern Conference. The Magic last year did alright. They went 42-40, got the 7th seed in the East, and won 1 game against the eventual champion Toronto Raptors. In the offseason, they were able to re-sign All-Star Nikola Vucevic and Terrence Ross, and the big addition they made was Markelle Fultz. While we have seen some signs that Fultz is slowly but surely getting back to playing like himself, the Magic are still lacking a point guard that could really position the team to more success. But at the end of the day, a front court with Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, along with returning players like Evan Fournier, DJ Augustine, and Jonathan Isaac, this team isn't really that bad. They did sneak their way into the playoffs last year, and if they can improve off of that season, then there's no doubt they'll make the playoffs again this year. But it is going to come down to just how that front court plays. I do think that the Detroit Pistons will be right there behind them, competing for that 8th spot, but my just general prediction is that ultimately the Magic will just barely squeak by. I think it's fair to say that after winning the title and after the fun guy left, the Raptors are either going to fight for playoff position or blow the whole thing up. Assuming that they don't go into a rebuild this year, which it doesn't look like considering Lowry just signed a 1-year extension, the Raptors are still a playoff team. Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, and Marc Gasol are aging veterans, but they played big roles in the Raptors winning it all last year. So if they do stay, they'll be able to contribute in a positive way. You also have talented young guys like Norman Powell and Fred VanVleet. And then you have Pascal Siakam, a future all-star who is going to become the face of the franchise. I have no doubt that the Raptors will still do well, but I also think that they will be near the bottom of the playoff bracket in the East. What the Raptors accomplished last year was just incredibly historic and fun to watch, but this prediction just goes to show just how much of an impact Kawhi Leonard had on this team. To be fair to the Raptors though, they're bringing back those purple jerseys, so that alone might give them a bit of a boost this year. Now, I was pretty confused when Jimmy Butler decided to go to the Heat, and I really didn't understand where he fit and why he would go to a team that isn't at the top of the East, let alone contending for a championship. However, the Heat do have plenty of room to improve, and Jimmy Butler is one of the top players in this league, so his presence will definitely be a boost for this team. Along with Jimmy Butler, you also have talented players like Justice Winslow, Bam Adebayo, and Goran Dragic. And you also have young talent like Tyler Hero, who is a rookie that people are starting to see as a sleeper for the Heat team. He had an impressive preseason showing, and if he can do that in the regular season, his potential is really high. If Jimmy Butler doesn't scrimmage with a bunch of third stringers and call people bums, and if these other guys can do their part, then the Heat are definitely a team that you can expect to see fighting for a playoff position. Y'all don't understand just how sad I am that Durant is hurt, because man, all of the excitement that I had for this team just washed away once I remembered that Durant isn't even playing this year. Obviously, I hope he gets the rest he needs and he is 100% for next season, because there's a lot I want to say about this team that I just can't say yet until he fully comes back. But putting that aside, let's just focus on this year. Kyrie Irving is arguably an upgrade from D'Angelo Russell. so he will definitely have a big impact on this team. But it's not just him like we saw last year. The other guys on this team are talented and make this team overall pretty damn solid. Hopefully Karis LeVert can get some rest after he hurt himself in the China game. Same thing with Kyrie too. But he is an incredible talent that can really help take this team to the next level. Spencer Dinwiddie is also another incredible talent who has really elevated his game. So expect him to be a key in this team's success. You also have Joe Harris, who is the reigning 3-point contest champion and one of the best spot-up shooters in the league. On top of that, you have Jarrett Allen and DeAndre Jordan in the front court, who can be real threats on defense. Even with Durant out this year, the Nets are still a team that will be fun to watch, and they will definitely be competitive all year long. I said in my last video that the Pacers are going to be a sleeper team this year, and I still do believe that. Acquiring Brogdon was a pricey and risky move that I think will pay off for this Pacers team. Him alongside a healthy Oladipo is a low-key dangerous duo that could really do well together. Sabonis and Turner are a great big man duo that can do really well on defense and score at ease. Of course, the big question for this team is going to be, when does Oladipo return? And how will he do when that time comes? While he's out, they did make some moves. They added TJ Warren, who played like Michael Jordan in India for some reason. And you have Jeremy Lamb, who should help the Pacers organization while Oladipo starts to get back on track. But the team's success is going to come down to how he plays, and if everything works out, expect this Pacers team to be in the fight, and they'll be a solid team in the East, and they'll be fighting for the 3rd or 4th spot all season long. I have no doubt about that. The Boston Celtics, in my opinion, are an underrated team in the East, and even though they lost significant pieces in Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, this team right now still has plenty of potential. Kemba Walker is a beast, and it'll be actually incredible to see him play for something instead of just playing for a garbage team every year. I think the fact that he's on such a better team will only help him get better, and I think that he could honestly just have a career season. The Celtics picked up Carson Edwards and the greatest of all time, Taco Fall, so it'll be interesting to see how those two guys coming into the league, how they mesh with this team. They've also added Enes Kanter, who is a solid center who could do a good job filling that void that Al Horford left. But a majority of the team's success will come down to 3 players in my opinion: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Gordon Hayward. Gordon had an up and down year after coming back from that gruesome injury in 2017, so he will really need to step it up this year if this team's going to do any well. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown will both need to have their best seasons to really help this team. We've seen just how incredible Tatum can be, and now he just needs to turn it up a notch, and Jaylen Brown needs to be that future all-star that we expect from him. Overall, this team can be really good, and they will be fighting for a top spot in the East. The young guys just need to prove themselves. Now, the Bucks had the best record in the league last year with 60 wins, and the expectations for this team are super high. Them losing Brogdon and Mirotic could hurt this team, and they paid a lot of money to keep Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, and Eric Bledsoe. $70 million to be exact. They did add Robin Lopez, Kyle Korver, and Wesley Matthews, which are decent pickups, but I just don't think this team right now is a 60-win team. Don't get me wrong, this team is still dangerous considering you have all these guys and Giannis, but I don't think they'll be able to repeat that regular season they had last year. But I have no doubt Giannis will play like the machine he is, and Chris Middleton will be his sidekick, and they both will lead this team to a great record. But I don't know if those two are going to be enough to put them at the number 1 spot like last year. The Bucks are still a great team, and they are a title contender for sure, but in my opinion, there's one team that will outdo them in the regular season. Ben Simmons hit a 3. That's it. The Sixers this offseason made moves that really put them one step ahead of where they were last year. Al Horford makes this big man duo with Embiid scary. And on top of that, he'll be able to give Embiid a break, and it'll just help Embiid stay healthy all year, which was a bit of a drawback from them last year. They also added Josh Richardson, who is great on solid perimeter defense, and that will only help them. The Sixers were just one buzzer beater away from the conference finals, and they won't have to worry about Kawhi Leonard breaking their heart again. Losing Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick might hurt them, but I doubt it. Ben Simmons will need to have his best season to really put this team on top. He has consistently gotten better and better year after year, and I have no doubt that Simmons will really have an incredible year, knowing the amount of pressure is on him. And put the jokes and memes aside, if he does get a jump shot like we've seen, it only makes this team even scarier. The Sixers, in my opinion, have a better team than the Bucks right now on paper, and that's why I have them taking the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. So that's going to wrap up the predictions for the East. Just to remind you, in the next video I will give my predictions for the West, and the video after that, my predictions for the season awards. Leave a comment on whether you agree or not with my predictions. I'm sure there's going to be some disagreements, so feel free to let me know. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like. Also, please show some love to the second channel where I upload 2K videos twice a week. I'll leave a link to that channel in the description below for you guys to show some support there. And please be sure to subscribe to support this channel and turn on your notifications. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.